Apart from the fact that you're about to learn more than you probably expect, even though you're fairly certain you already know how this scenario will play out. At first glance, many things appear to be the same here, and that is precisely why it's so easy to overlook how different they actually are in practice. Because although they pursue the same goal, they take technically and practically completely different paths. From a purely technical standpoint, the Anbernic RG557 seems to be ahead. At least that would be the immediate assumption. But it isn't quite that simple. This is exactly where it becomes clear why spec sheets alone rarely tell the whole story. There are differences you only notice once you actually use both devices, and those are ultimately what determine the real value. With a Dimensity 8300 SoC, 12 GB of RAM, and 256 GB of storage, it clearly outperforms the Pocket 5 on paper. PlayStation 2 and GameCube emulation run stable and smoothly, usually without any need to tweak settings. In terms of raw performance, the RG557 undeniably offers more headroom. The Retroid Pocket 5, however, counters with one decisive factor: the Snapdragon chip. Many emulators have been better optimized for Snapdragon processors for years. As a result, despite having lower pure performance, the Pocket 5 can be more stable in certain scenarios, particularly with Switch emulation. On the RG557, bugs or crashes occur more frequently in this area, while the Pocket 5 proves to be more reliable in real-world use. It should also be noted that the RG557 does not support certain emulators, such as Winder, at all. Bottom line, more power on the RG557, but often cleaner and more consistent emulation on the Pocket 5, especially for newer systems. And before we move on to the things that are guaranteed to unsettle you slightly, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Both devices use a 5.5-inch AMOLED display with a 1080p resolution and deliver a high overall image quality. The Pocket 5's display, however, feels more finely tuned. Slimmer bezels, more balanced colors, and no visible flickering, which can occur on the RG557. From a purely visual standpoint and during active gameplay, the Pocket 5 screen feels more precise and calmer overall. The RG557, on the other hand, clearly excels in ergonomics. The pronounced grips on the back provide a high level of comfort, even during longer sessions. It is among the most comfortable handhelds in this size class. Weaknesses do appear in the control elements, however. The analog sticks are undersized for the chassis, and the D-pad does not reach the desired level of precision. The Pocket 5 opts for a more compact, tighter design. It is more portable, easier to carry, and stands out with superior input quality. The D-pad responds more directly, the analog sticks feel better proportioned, and control precision, especially in fighting games, is noticeably superior to that of the RG557. Both devices differ clearly in focus. The RG557 pairs its larger 5,500 mAh battery with active cooling and 27-watt fast charging, delivering stable peak performance for demanding tasks like PS2 or GameCube emulation, but with a realistic runtime of 4 to 6 hours under load. The Pocket 5 counters with a smaller 5,000 mAh battery and slower 18-watt charging, yet achieves comparable or better endurance in lighter scenarios, up to 6 to 7 hours, thanks to its efficient Snapdragon chip and passive design. In practice, the RG557 is the better choice for users who want maximum performance and a console-like no-tweaks experience, while the Retroid Pocket 5 offers the more balanced overall value, with better inputs, broader emulator stability, and stronger efficiency per dollar invested, making the final decision primarily a matter of usage priorities rather than absolute superiority.